This episode of the Opie Radio Podcast sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Opie, O-P-I-E, to try it for free. It's for your schlong. Or prick. Or pud. Let's go, Bubba. Where are you? I can't hear you, goddammit. Tap to speak. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let's see if that works. They're probably just laughing at me as I try to figure this out. The Bubba Army's speaking and I can't hear. God damn it. Your microphone is muted. Oh, I must sound so silly. What am I doing wrong? The Bubba Army is speaking. God, my microphone is muted. What does that mean? The hell did I do wrong? Are you talking to me? I can't hear you. Let me see. What am I doing? It says push here, tap to speak. I'm tapping. Tap, tap, tap. What am I doing wrong? Can you tell I've been doing this a long time? Jesus Christ. I can't hear you. It says Bubba is speaking. I can't hear you. You could be saying the most horrible things about me right now, and I can't even defend myself. Tap to speak. Your microphone is muted. How's my microphone muted? Fuck. Fuck this shit. How the fuck? I don't know, Bubs. Probably hate the name Bubs. I don't know, Bubs. Bubba Army speaking. Good for him. I can't hear him. It says your microphone is muted. Everything else works on this end. I tested it before we started. I'm plugged into a Zoom. Your volume is up. I should be able to hear you. Oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Where's the settings? I can't even find the settings. It says your microphone is muted. Oh, Christ.
Opie, it's Bubba.
You're live on the air.
Hey, Bubba,
and
what's
you're
up?
live on the air.
All right. Sorry about that. I guess after all these years of broadcasting, I can't figure out how to start a Zoom meeting. How pathetic is that?
It sucks because it's like we were going to fuck a chick, and now we just get to play with her titties. I'm talking to you like this.
Could you hear me that whole time?
No.
Oh.
Could you hear me?
No, but thank God, because I'm like this. I feel so helpless, and you know how like insecure radio guys could get. I'm like, he could hear everything I'm saying as I'm panicking and trying to figure out how to unmute a mic, and I'm like, he's probably.
And I was like, I'm like, man, I hope Opie doesn't flip out because he's an easy flipper outer. He'll flip the fuck out, and it'll be all bad, and you'll hate us forever.
No, it's sad. I don't flip out anymore, Bubba. I think that's one of my, I don't know. I think that's one reason why I don't have a big-time radio show anymore. I think they like me when I flip out.
I think I used to be an easy flipper outer, and you used to be one. And maybe we should start flipping the fuck out again so we could get back on top. What do you think?
Do you really want to be on top again?
No, but I wouldn't mind getting a decent paycheck, to be honest.
Well, that's exactly right. That's where I'm at.
Opie, but you were probably at least a little smarter with your money.
Yeah, I mean, Opie, you made a lot of money, but you also were a lot cooler with your money than me. I was buying planes and whores and all kinds of shit.
I just started buying real estate because I knew eventually, this thing was going to dry up.
Well, Bubba's friends years ago said, take all your money and invest it in real estate, and he didn't listen to him.
Oh, yeah.
Pussy real estate, vagina real estate.
I understand. How's the comeback going? Last time we talked, you were just starting this thing again.
Well, really, we've really done. We're the number. Now, don't fucking laugh, Greg, because this would be the kind of shit that you would clown back in the day, motherfucker. So don't. I already know you, bitch.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, this is October. So.
Oh, it is. It's Shocktober, whatever.
Jocktober.
Oh, yeah, Jocktober, right.
But we are the number one radio show in the world on Twitch, and we're doing pretty good with it. Like, it's paying the bills.
All right. That's something to be proud of, right?
Not all of us can go fish for fucking tarpon all day like you can. I'm just saying.
It's striped bass, and the fall run's about to begin. I'm actually looking at the ocean as I speak to you. I had such a wonderful video set up for you. It was like the ocean behind me, and I had my quarantine hair. I haven't had a haircut in I don't know, since March. This is the longest my hair's been.
We could see your video.
We could see the video. We just couldn't hear you. And you look, I mean, just to be honest, you look sexy as fuck and very rare footage. I mean, the hat, the fucking hair, the hair flowing, the backdrop. I mean, it's people don't get that kind of unabated access to Greg Hughes usually. I'm just saying.
Actually, you got video of me. I haven't shown myself on camera in, I don't know, months because I just refuse to get a haircut because I'm kind of, are you allowed to say pussy? I don't know. Are we on regular radio?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can say pussy.
All right, so I'm here to say that, yeah, I'm a pussy, and I'm taking the coronavirus very seriously still. I'm not willing to let my guard down yet, and I'm sure because you're from Florida and Tampa.
Even before,
yeah, go ahead.
Even before Corona, on your Facebook Live stuff, you rarely put the camera on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a radio guy, and, there's something about when you don't have to worry about what you look like that you could focus on what you're saying and you could focus on the interviews and stuff.
I wish I would have focused on what I looked like and maybe less of what I was saying back in the day. I might be in a better spot.
I can't.
By the way, I will assure you, Opie, that I'm not going to use this footage and send it to TMZ or anything like that and try to make a zillion bucks like some of my other friends. I'm just saying.
You do realize my star has dropped. If they give you $100 for that video, I'd be surprised. But there was a time, you know.
You're saying take it?
You're saying take it. If I can get $86 out of the Opie behind the scenes, getting ready to fish for striped bass deal, get it while you can.
Well, you are known for, taping video of friends.
I'm known for, taping my friend, fucking my wife, and then it ruining my life. That's what I'm fucking known for, unfortunately.
Oh,
I really got the fuck job on that deal, did I not?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, you lost everything. You lost the money, you lost the wife, you lost the best friend. I lost
my fucking credibility. I look like a real fucking piece of shit when it really didn't go down that way. I'm only half the piece of shit that people think I am.
All right, but you're building it back up. You've owned it. I think it's important to own it, right?
So what if my agent can cut a big-time Spotify deal and get me and you back on? Me and you, buddy.
Beautiful. It's so weird. It's so weird that me and you are like friends. I'd rather talk to you than most of the people I worked with in the past. How did that happen?
If Tim Sabian or some cool motherfucker just would have sat us down and said, "Listen, you two fucks, why don't you guys? One, you probably will like each other, and two, if you two join forces, you guys might be able to do some shit."
Right. The only thing I talked about you today on my live stream, I do Facebook Live every morning, and I have fun with that. And I collect stars. Are you into this whole stars program on Facebook where if they like what they're hearing, they give you like 50 stars, which is the equivalent of 50 cents? Thanks, Facebook.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
Facebook stars are just like Twitch bits.
Yeah, exactly. But we're giving really good content, and we collect pennies for doing it.
Well, Twitch, I'm doing really good on Twitch. Like, we'll have somebody give us like 200,000 bits.
And what is that the equivalent of?
Like $2,000.
Holy dude! I'm happy if I make. I'll tell you. This morning I did Facebook Live. I got stars. I made $55.
That's still good though.
But I mean,
we have fallen.
But let's not forget about that real estate you got in the fucking hammies now, buddy. Come on.
Well, and some rental properties and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
The reason why you don't give a fuck about that $55 is because you got 55 rentals, kid. Come on.
Yeah, but I got bandwidth charges, and I don't need to make a lot of money off a podcast, but I want to at least pay for this stupid thing, right?
But doesn't it? And listen, listen, Opie, I'm not talking bad about anybody that's able to carve out a niche on podcasting or any radio cinch, but you and I and Howard and some of that. I mean, we really, really produced some really, really great content, and it's sad that the best content no longer matters. It's just this fucking big social media, how big of a name you have, how many fucking likes you have. And content, I don't know, it seems like the best content doesn't get distributed in any way.
100%. And how frustrated are you? Obviously, you're making decent money with Twitch and whatnot, but how frustrated are you that the whole world has decided they could do what me and you do? And a handful of others. There's only a handful of guys that could actually do this properly. And I can't even watch TV anymore because every time you turn on a program, and don't forget to check out my new podcast. And I'm like, of course, you think you could do this too. So the problem is this.
And podcasting has just watered down the content. Like now everybody, it's like, everybody's got a fucking podcast.
Right. Yeah. And I hate it. I mean, we used to what? Truly, when we were on the top of our game on regular radio and being syndicated, how many people were we truly competing against? Not many, if sometimes zero, because you just felt like you were better than everyone out there. Now you throw a podcast up and you hope they could find it among the 300,000 podcasts that are out there every fucking day.
And that whole world is bought and paid for. It's based on distribution and what company fucking's got you.
Right.
And if you're with this company, it sucks. But if you're with this company, they can guarantee you. And then the inflation factor. Now it was always when I was growing up as a radio guy, and I heard like, Opie and Anthony, O&A, they got like $5 million a year per guy, and fucking jets and whores and all that kind of shit, and stuff gets embellished. But then you hear these podcasting numbers, and realistically, I think that there's only, I know that obviously Rogan and Adam, and there's a lot of guys who do pretty well, but for the most part, like the average person isn't making shit on their podcast. Nothing.
No, I'm one of those guys, by the way. So thanks for reminding me of that.
And I wasn't doing it as a reminder. I'm just saying, like, this whole fucking world is just so watered down that you just can't really. And there's really no sexy delivery mechanism anymore because there's so many different ways. Used to be back in the day, you had regular radio and satellite, and that's about all you had. Now you got every fucking thing.
The first time I knew of you I think it was in one of those radio rag magazines we used to all read back in the day, and they were talking about
radio and records or hit makers or something like that.
FMQB.
Yeah, FMQB, I believe is the one it was, and they were talking about Bubba the Love Sponge and his limo company. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he focusing on other businesses? But honestly, I wish I did that back in the day when we had the poll and the money coming in. But you had like limo companies, and didn't you have like a strip club and what?
I had a beeper company. I had
beepers.
I had teen clubs. I had limo company.
Restaurants.
I had restaurants. Whatever.
That's
chicken dip.
Chicken dip.
Oh.
That sounds exhausting.
No, I didn't do shit. I just said, you can use my name. Give me some money, motherfuckers. I didn't have to do shit.
Yeah, that's smart. But a beeper company. Remember the beepers? My God.
Oh, I had Bubba. I'm gonna blow. Remember the Pogs, the game.
Oh yeah.
I had Bubba Pogs.
Really? Damn it.
Yeah, Bubba condoms.
I gotta say, at the height of our popularity, the Opie and Anthony show, we left so much fucking money on the table, and now I'm like, God, why didn't we venture out more? We had the big radio show.
You should have ventured out, you should have released more albums because those are done more live gigs.
All that stuff. I mean, we did the comedy tour that was successful for 2 or 3 summers, but I don't know. You know who Eric Logan is, right?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
ELO.
This is probably too inside, but Eric Logan came to me about, at this point, probably 10 years ago, and he goes, I know you're doing well with, the satellite radio show with Anthony and stuff, but the future is podcasting. And I went, yeah. Could you imagine if we started the podcast when we were still on the radio and did the behind-the-scenes stuff to give them a little extra?
Oh,
we would be the Joe Rogans.
If we would have started when Rogan did in 08, 09, when we were both at the pinnacle of bullshit, and it would have said, today, after the Opie and Anthony show, you're the real, hear why Opie really fucking hates Ant. And then you get in there and say, listen, motherfucker, I hate your fucking guts. Because you're not using your head and you're fucking up our empire, you stupid fuckface.
All right, let's get into this for a second. So in all your years of your shows, Did you work with people where you looked at them and were like, I don't like this person?
Yeah, he still does.
It's like every day.
Oh, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
Anytime you have more than one person that works for you, you gotta hate some. I mean, you don't like everybody.
Right.
You know.
I'm amazed how long we lasted because I could honestly say that I don't know, man. We went at least a decade where we didn't talk when the mics were off.
Wow.
Are you building a house right now?
I was saying, what are you doing?
Are you remodeling a rental right now? What are you doing?
Well, honestly, so I got a house with a lovely ocean view, and my neighbor, he's getting his roof redone, and I thought it would be some nice sounds for you today.
The roofers.
Yeah, they're roofers, and when you have a house out here, like it gets the shit beat out of it, and everyone's replacing roofs pretty much every 5 years, and everything rusts out. But that's the downside.
Hey, if you're looking for some good meth, those roofers usually have the best. Just telling you.
Really?
But
Yeah.
Opie, I will say, because I was a listener to the show.
Sure.
And although you could tell that you guys were no longer friends,
Right.
the show still sounded great.
Yeah, that's what's so bizarre to me. The chemistry was unbelievable, but we just couldn't work out our differences at the time.
Now, Opie, were you and Ant shoulder to shoulder behind the same board?
No.
No,
I always thought, or did you
No,
run the board?
Greg ran the board.
Okay, Greg ran the board.
Anthony had a instant replay.
yeah.
That's pretty much it, right?
He had some bells and whistles. He was always off to my right, which was good too. So we didn't have to really look at each other eye to eye.
Now,
Right.
in my studio, Opie, in my studio, nobody can see each other.
Perfect.
Nobody. I mean, they can't see me. They can. The four guys that sit below me
Right.
can see.
Bubba sits on a lifted area that's like a foot taller than everybody else.
Of course he
And
does.
behind monitors, so nobody can see him.
Yeah, I'm like the Wizard of Oz back here because you can be a bigger dick.
He's got a separate door that goes into his area.
That's
You'd love it, Opie.
no, that's really clever because Letterman used to do that. We were lucky to be on Letterman. I'm like, this motherfucker sits way higher than his guests. Because it's a power position. You could get away with more, right?
Why can't you come to Tampa for a few days or whatever and fucking come do just hang out, be a radio guy?
Honestly, I would do it in a second, but all kidding aside, I'm not okay with the coronavirus still. And you guys being from Florida and Tampa, you guys probably laugh at this shit, right?
Oh, we're straight white trash heel jacks. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. I mean, we're fully opened up. I mean, whatever, just let it eat. I'm not worried. I mean, I'm pretty resilient,
Right. I mean, but New York City was a shit show for a very, very long time, and the numbers are starting to go up in New York. I don't know, man. I got the small kids. You only have one kid, right?
Yeah, and he's 18. So
yeah, that's what I mean. He's a little older, so he's on his own, and he's in that age range where if you get the coronavirus, you skate through it. I understand that. If I was younger, I wouldn't be taking this shit seriously.
Man, motherfucker, you're old. You're not any older than I am, and you're in way better shape, motherfucker. You're in good shape. You're out fishing all day, reeling in marlin. You got that pencil string.
I guess.
Come on.
But you're really not scared of this thing at all, huh?
Not one. I want to get it like a lot. Like I really want to get it, and then fucking just get through it and tell everybody.
Have antibodies?
I got fucking through it. Look, I'm a fat ass that doesn't do anything, and I just got right on through it. Hope he can do it. Well, hey, if shit ever calms down, I would love for you to come down here and just do some fucking shows. Whether you do it on your Facebook deal or you do it on my deal, I don't care.
Bubba, I swear to you, if it wasn't for the coronavirus, I'd jump in my car right now. I honestly am still, taking it very, very seriously. And it's so weird because Florida laughs at this shit. Up here in New York, we're not laughing at it. It's like totally different. And you also live in Trump country, man. How is that?
Well, I mean, it's not like people come here and beat you the fuck up if you like Biden or nothing. I mean, and we don't even know, they don't even know that Trump's going to win Florida.
Really? Come on.
You probably will.
He probably will, but it's a swing state.
Yeah, it is.
He's going to win.
Now, so Opie, are you not a Trump guy? I've been trying to stay middle of the road. I probably lean a little more Trump, but I'm just trying to kind of be a pussy and not really get involved.
It drives people nuts because I'm absolutely in the middle, a centrist, a moderate, whatever you want to call it. I'm kind of like a George Carlin type of guy when it comes to politics. I think the system is broke, and I think it's a joke whoever becomes the president. They're not really running shit. You know that. It's corporate America that really runs it. I'm entertained by Trump on a daily basis. The shit he does makes me
laugh, and it's oh, did I just run out? Oh my God, hold on.
He just ran out of minutes. I think Opie ran out of minutes.
No, stop.
He's gonna put a refill in his calling card.
Are you still there?
Opie, did you just run out of minutes, motherfucker?
I'm recording this on my Zoom so I can put it out on my podcast.
Good.
And I am so fucking lame because now you're gonna have to give me the rest of this audio.
I'll get it all to you, buddy.
Okay, I just ran out of batteries, dude. What happened to us, man? I just ran out of batteries, so I had to quickly pick up my phone.
Oh, and this sounds better too. So we'll make sure.
Good.
We'll make sure we'll get this audio to you. Move, all this shit to you.
No worries. Oh God, it's so pathetic. I used to have a giant staff. Everyone would take care of everything, and now it's just me. And in a way, I kind of like it. But where were we with the Trump thing? All right, so he entertains the hell out of me on a daily basis. But let's be honest. He really is a dick, and he's all about himself. No.
Yeah, they all are, aren't they?
They all. But I mean, I think I know this is very non-conventional, and I'm being a total smartass. I think it should be Oprah as the president and The Rock as vice president. Then you got all the shit covered, don't you think?
And why not? I mean, Trump proved that anyone could,
I mean, Oprah. Oprah. I mean, you'd like her or not, she's a very successful. She's African American. The Rock, I think, is a little bit African American, and he's fucking thick and rugged. What else do you need on that?
First of all, I've done a lot of changing since my radio career ended, and I'm you don't want to hear this, but I actually listened to her Super Soul podcast.
Oh no,
man! I used to think, Opie is now doing estrogen replacement too. You heard it first on the Bubba the Love Sponge show. Gray Opie Hughes is doing estrogen now.
and it's so funny in my life. There's people around me like, don't admit all this shit. You can't admit that you listen to Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. I'm like, why not? Who gives a
own
fuck
it. I like
point?
that.
No, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool, actually.
All right, let me just jump in for a second. That was so freaking embarrassing. I'm out on my deck. I'm walking back and forth. I'm talking to Bubba the Love Sponge, and I'm making all these great points. I'm like, man, he's going to love my Trump stuff. And all I hear is silence. And then I look down and I realize that I'm no longer recording, and I lost the feed because I forgot to put brand new batteries in my Zoom recorder. My God, I'm an idiot. With that said, why don't we take a moment to say hi to Blue Chew, who's sponsoring this cluster F I call the Opie Radio Podcast. Not only will Blue Chew give you better sex in bed, I think they can help with the podcast and make sure you have 100% battery power for your Zoom recorder so it doesn't stop in the middle of a great rant. I love the Blue Chew. And they bring you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. If you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew, prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy. Ships right to your door in a discreet package, because we all know we got the nosy neighbors. It's made in the good old U.S. of A. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use the special promo code OPIE, O-P-I-E. Just pay the $5 for shipping. You could do that, right? Of course you can. It helps the podcast, by the way. It keeps this damn thing free. Again, that's Blue, B-L-U-E, BlueChew.com, promo code OPIE, O-P-I-E, to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Once again, BlueChew.com, promo code OPIE. Now back to Bubba the Love Sponge. Bring it up to speed. Hang on, everybody. There she goes.
if you're going to get the vaccine when it comes out?
No.
You won't get it.
They're pushing that shit through. What I'm hoping for is they come up with better drugs where you just know you're not going to die from this thing. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I mean,
and the vaccination thing. But I don't know.
Remember back in the day, Opie, when you could do real fucked up content? Like, I think one of the very first contests you guys did was the $100,000. That was the $100,000 deal that really pissed a lot of people off. And you know, of course, the mayor gimmick, and if I remember, just because I'm a radio historian, and at the end of the day, we used to talk shit about each other, but we all knew what the fuck we were most noted for, and we knew how talented.
Oh yeah.
And I think didn't WAAF, when they pissed the mayor off, they wanted to make good by doing like a pie in the face kind of deal, like that was going to make it all go away and shit.
Oh yeah. We told Boston that the mayor died in a horrific car accident for April Fools, and the company said, we have an idea. We're gonna invite the mayor to throw pies in yours and Anthony's face while you're in Stockades. And I'm like, he's not going to agree to that. He wants our fucking ass like kicked out of Massachusetts.
Yeah, but didn't you already had another deal cut and you needed to get out of this deal?
Oh yeah, now I finally admit it. But what happened was, I had to play it. I was so pissed off because when we were in Boston, we were making absolutely no money, and we were beating WBCN. This is inside baseball, but no one ever beat WBCN in Boston ever because AF had a really bad signal, so it was almost impossible. And we did the impossible, and we were up against Mark Perreno, who was making stupid money. And me and Anthony, I might be off by maybe $10,000, but we were making $50,000 to $60,000 a year each.
Doing afternoons, being number one, men plus an afternoon drive on Market 7 or whatever.
Yeah, and we were getting the attention of everybody, and we're from New York, and so they fly us in secretly, and we have this big meeting in New York, and K-Rock, which had Howard Stern, wanted us, and WNEW wanted us, two giant radio stations in New York. And the story goes that Howard said, "No fucking way do I, want those guys on my station." So we picked NEW. But then they said to us, "It's too bad you're under contract. So let's just keep in touch." And I'm like, "All right." Flying back to Boston, where we drove, whatever. I'm thinking to myself, "Fuck that contract. You know this shit, Bubba." I'm like, "All right, I got to get myself fired." And back then in radio, when you got fired, you most likely went to a bigger station, a bigger job opportunity, and made way more money.
It was like I don't know where it flipped, but it was a badge of honor, and it means you were going to make more money.
Yeah, exactly. So I go back up to Boston, and I'm just thinking it over, and they we just signed a contract, and they gave us stock options that we had to wait 5 years, and then maybe after 5 years, it was the equivalent of a $10,000 raise. Could you tell we had no agent back then?
Yeah.
So
poor Bob Eatman. Rest in peace, Bob Eatman.
Absolutely. So I'm pacing my apartment, and it's April Fool's, and I'm like, fuck it. And I call up Anthony. Anthony's groggy as all hell, and I'm like, all right, I got an idea. Today on the radio,
he was drunk.
Yeah, he's definitely hungover. I'm thinking, let's just blow the April Fool's prank out of the fucking water, because the deal. All these horseshit April Fool's pranks that are
and fucking radio stations like the absolute cheese dickus of contesting during April. Hey, we're gonna have an all Christmas format, or hey, it's April. That kind of bullshit.
My thought, knowing that we had jobs waiting for us in New York, was, now we could really say just fuck it, and we'll be legendary. So I call up Anthony. I'm like, today on the radio, we're going to tell Boston that the mayor died in a car accident for April Fools. And he's like, yeah, whatever. All right, cool, man. All right, I'll see you in a few hours. And then we just sat in the studio. We did it, and we got our asses fired. But the other side of it was that New York's like, oh, man, I don't know if we can hire you now, because what you did. So then we had to fly down to Washington to meet with the giant, Dan Mason?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. He ran CBS back in the day.
He goes, I want you guys in Washington tomorrow. So we pack our bags. We were such dirtbags back then. I'm thinking we're going to have a nice weekend in Washington. We're going to talk to one of the heads of CBS Radio, and then we're going to have a hotel, and we're going to go out for drinks and probably a nice steak dinner. Long story short, we drive to some office park in the middle of nowhere. We go into his office with our suitcases. He wanted to make sure we didn't have horns on our on our heads, and that we were stable enough to take the job in New York because he read the headlines of what we did in Boston. Half-hour meeting, Bubba. He goes, all right, I'm good. I'm satisfied. I'm going to give the permission for my guys to, hire you. And then he goes, can I call you a cab to get back to the airport? And we were back in Boston for dinner. And here I'm thinking that we're going to be wined and dined by.
You thought you guys were going to go, you and Ant were going to have facials by the fucking pool, and you guys end up getting a round trip Willie, right?
A round trip Willie, yep.
100%. I met Scott Shannon the same way during Pirate Radio on a same type of interview. I was in San Antonio. And it was right when Shannon left New York and did the Pirate Radio. And so I'm in San Antonio, and I did do you remember I flew to Boston and did the John Garabedian open house party? Do you remember that?
Honestly, vaguely. I mean, I know a lot about your career, but that one, vaguely, I remember something.
So I flew to Boston and did this, national syndicated Saturday night with this John Garabedian guy. And flew back to San Antonio, and Scott Shannon calls me. Now, Scott he'd ripped off my name. They were calling their prize patrol at Z100, Bubba the Love Sponge, back in the day.
Oh, I remember that. I was on BAB, and I'm like, wait a minute. They're now just taking his fucking name. Yeah. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yep, they took my Scott Shannon ripped it off. So he flies me into L.A. I'm some stupid fuck from San Antonio, Texas, doing Hispanic urban radio. And I fly into L.A., and Scott Shannon's waiting for me at the gate, and he takes me to the airport bar, and he goes, Bubba, let me ask you a question. I want you to tell me if you can do a break just like this. And I go, okay, go. He goes, Pirate Radio. And I go, well, yeah. I mean, what about it? And he goes, what about phone calls and having chicks come in, and play, Patience by Guns N' Roses and, a fucking phone call. Back then what we had was phone calls. Like that as a night jock, that's what phone calls.
Of course.
Putting chicks on the air. And he goes,
yeah.
He goes, well, I'm going to let you know for 3 months, you're just going to say your goofy name and the radio station identifier. See, the radio station is the chassis, and you're just one of the tires, and then we'll develop your show. And I go,
oh, go fuck yourself.
I go, Scott, I can't just do that. I just can't. I mean, I got
right.
And so he said, okay. So he had 2 tickets. He had two airplane tickets, and he goes, here's a ticket that had the next return back to San Antonio, and here's one that would leave on Monday if you would have cut a deal. I'm not interested. And then I went to B96 in Chicago instead and got fired 9 months later after that one.
Beautiful. Congratulations. What's funny, going back to the April Fool's prank and all the crazy stuff we did in radio, thus then why I now listen to Oprah Winfrey Super Soul Sunday, because I need a little spirituality in my life after all the horse shit we went through. But I got to say this. We competed against you indirectly, never in the same city or anything like that. But remember those stupid lists, like the most shocking things a shock jock did? And it was always like, maybe it was me and Anthony one year that had number 1, and then you would be number 2, and then the next year would be, no, Bubba has the biggest shock jock done, and then Opie and Anthony are in 5th place. So I think secretly I was always competing against the crazy ass shit you were doing and going, all right, how do we top this fucking thing that he just did?
Oh, and my guys were the same thing, because we'd be like, hey, man, they got Whip Out Wednesdays, What the fuck they got Whip Out Wednesdays? I got No Panties Thursday. No, they got fucking Whip It Out Wednesdays. And these fuckers got bumper stickers. They got Wow bumpers. What the fuck they got bumper stickers? That's bullshit. Those guys suck. Those guys are fucking horrible. I hate those guys. Meanwhile,
we were paying attention, though.
But if you think about and this is, I don't necessarily want to be one of these guys, but we are. Who would be the greatest, shock jocks of all time, top 5? And I think that you guys and me are in there, top 5. I think.
Yeah, 100%. Oh God, 100%. Who's better? We beat Howard. Howard's stuff didn't compete with ours.
Well, I mean, Howard.
Think about it.
I mean, Howard was different, but yet in that, Howard was. Yeah, he was the ultimate shock jock. Although maybe in insider radio, we don't think Howard did more shocking shit than us. But at the end of the day,
at least back then, Howard did radio.
Yeah, I mean, Howard was doing some shocking shit back then. I wish they would have taken us all aside, including Howard, and said, if not that he has to play with us because he obviously doesn't have to, but fuck, if we could have all came together and done some shit, wouldn't that be huge?
Well, of course, and I do have to say this, and you can certainly stay out of it because you're closer to Howard than I am, certainly. But back in the day, they were trying to do just that, and I'm sure your name came up. And they were building a FM talk where they really wanted the anchor to be Howard in the morning and me and Anthony in the afternoon, and then they threw Tom Likas, Don and Mike, and others. And I'm sure your name came up in the super lineup there. But Howard said no to all that, and it frustrated the hell out of CBS. So they had to kind of like put us on another station in a market because Howard didn't really want us on that one. Especially the one in New York. He's like, there's no fucking way on my home station do I want these guys, on in afternoons. They were able to finagle it a little bit and get Howard in the morning and us in the afternoon, but they had a whole plan, and Howard kept saying no to it.
Yeah, but I mean, now I am close to Howard. We keep in touch, and I have a lot of respect for what he did for me. I'm the one that fucked it up. But that being said, we had just as big of egos in our lane, and if we were in that situation, we would have said fuck no too, probably. If somebody would have said to me, "Hey, Bubba, you got your own channel, and we're going to put Opie and Anthony on," I'd be fuck those guys. And the reason why I would have said that is because you guys are good, and it would be fucking with my real estate.
Yeah, but it just would have made us work, even harder, probably, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish somebody would have sat us down because it could have been fucking unlike anything that has ever or will ever be emulated in radio again. I mean, radio's done. It's done.
Yeah.
I mean, I still
100%.
I still smitter smatter on, I got 8 or 9 affiliates, not the money doesn't come from there. It comes from Twitch. But realistically, you see that, iHeart's going to be bought by Sirius XM, and, Beasley, Intercom, and Cumulus are all filing bankruptcy, and Westwood One's going to get spun off. Like, it's fucked. It's fucked.
Right.
And the reason why it's fucked, Opie, is because they've not invested in content. They are a big jukebox, and they put their head in the sand, and they're afraid of people like you and I.
Well, they did it to themselves because they were ahead of everybody else. And I remember Mel Karmazin famously saying, the internet, I can't make money off the internet. And then that allowed like some internet radio to start, and then it allowed satellite radio to start. And I remember back in the day, they weren't worried about satellite because who's really going to buy those units and put them in their cars. And then now we're up to podcasting, and radio blew the chance to really embrace podcasting at a very early stage. So they kind of did it to themselves. They left just nothing behind. Those fucking executives all retired with golden parachutes, millions upon millions of stock options coming in, and they left nothing behind for anyone else that was coming up in our business, unfortunately. I personally have turned down 3 or 4 radio jobs since leaving Sirius XM. I just don't want that stress anymore, man, of worrying about ratings and worrying about the content and all that. And
if you can still continue to be the slumlord that you are with the 55 properties, I'd tell radio to suck my dick too. If I didn't have to deal with the devil and I didn't have to deal with it, I would love to be in your position. Seriously, I mean, regular radio is just a skeleton of its former self. It doesn't make any money. They can't pay anybody nothing.
100%.
Everything's
100%.
everything's brokered. There's no big time contracts left. There's no 7-figure deals left. Maybe for a Rush, maybe, I don't know.
All right, I'll tell you a quick story. So I get fired from Sirius XM, and that was around the time that they knew Imus was. Hello?
I'm right here.
Now we got telemarketers in the middle of our phone call.
No,
Hold on.
Someone's calling him.
Okay.
Now we have telemarketers on our phone call. Jesus.
It's probably the Democratic National Yippee-O's looking for some money.
Exactly. So, quick story. So, I leave Sirius XM, and Imus was pretty much on his last leg, and they came to me. They're like, we're going to be making some moves, and Imus is going to retire, or they were going to force him out. That part was a little shady, to be honest with you. And they offered me, mornings at ABC in New York, and I'm like, fuck, man.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one to say no to, bud.
It was AM radio. The money was shit. It was well, I don't want to put numbers out there because people really truly work for a living, but the money was terrible, Bubba. Just, you could imagine. And I'm like, all that stress, working full time in radio again for that much money. I'm like, I just can't do it. I said no. All right. So then they got somebody else to do the show, and I don't who's doing it. Fuck. Whatever. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Anyway, they come to me 2 or 3 more times. They're like, look, we just want you on the station. We understand, you don't want the morning slot, but how about 10 a.m. to noon? And you can work 3 days a week. And then I'm like, Bubba, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. All right. So I could do 2 hours a day, AM radio, New York. That could pump up my numbers for my podcast. So I'll use it for that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's talk money, Dude, you ready for this? They said we can't pay you.
It was going to be Barter Willie, where we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you through whatever
you
can.
Know this?
Yeah. Oh, I'm hold on, motherfucker. I'm living it. I don't know it. I'm fucking living it, kid. I'm fucking living it. You're giving me anxiety because you're laying out my shit identically.
So my agent goes, all right, well, and I'm living because you know where we came from.
Right.
I'm like, so my agent goes, well, let me at least play this out. And he goes, let me see how much they bill, from 10 to noon. I go, okay. They say, he comes back to me. They're like, they're billing about $50,000 in that 10 a.m. to noon slot. And I'm like, all right. And then I'm thinking, all right, I'll grab 50,000, but I'll be able to promote my podcast. He goes, no, they're going to want, 50% of that. I'm like, I am not going back to do radio for $25,000 a year. Are you crazy?
Man, I'd be giving head on the expressway in a half an hour to draw a crowd if they pay me $25,000 for New York's, buddy.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I maybe, I don't know. But then the guy was going to do the show with, he's
hey,
no
listen,
with
your
us, so.
your talent and your name will not, you're not going to forget how to do radio. That deal, I think radio is going to come around a little bit where they can start investing in talent. That deal will be in 6 or 7 months when radio goes through the next transition. What's going to happen where Liberty buys iHeart and a couple of them eat each other. I think that there's going to be more opportunities for guys like you, Opie. I really do.
Well, we'll see. I enjoy my podcast. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I had a little bigger audience and made a little more money. But you know what? It's kind of nice to just have, freedom finally. I'm sure you got that with what you're doing.
A little bit. I got to play some bullshit AM radio games that you speak of. I do have to play a few of those, but
yeah,
I've somewhat carved out a little lane here, and we're doing good with it. Back when you were double dipping, Opie, like NEW and Sirius XM. Was that like $4 or $5 million a year?
Well, that was the K-Rock. We were on mornings at K-Rock after David Lee Roth was handed a gift when Howard moved on to Sirius, and he felt so miserably. The company that fired us and made us sit out for almost 2.5 years, they come back and want to hire us. So we were doing mornings at K-Rock, and then we'd walk to our Sirius XM studio. Yeah, the number was pretty. Yeah, you're about right.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, you're about right. But they couldn't get along. Sorry, they couldn't get along with each other though. So we had to suffer. So we had to do our first 2-3 hours at K-Rock in Howard's old studio,
right?
And then for the second half of the our show, every day we had to walk the street 2 blocks to get to our other studio.
But the walk was live on the air too.
Yeah, because at that point we're like, fuck it, we might as well.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys don't get near the. That's pretty fucking. That's pretty out of the box mentality where we're gonna go live, walk into the next gig. Who thought of that?
Probably me, to be honest with you. I don't know, but if I say me and it was both of us, then that'll cause the next war. So maybe I'll just say, it was all of them.
Oh, it really was years ago. Oh, that was Anthony's idea. Then you don't got to deal with the bullshit. Right?
Yeah. So whatever. I'm sure we all sat down and said, hey, this could work. But you got to also remember we were doing that. Nowadays, you're like, what's the big deal to record while you're walking around the streets of New York? But back then, the equipment was giant to try to pull that off.
I know it's like one of those guys who had a telephone back in Vietnam. It was like the size of a washing machine.
It was like a whole Marty unit.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, like a fucking like a microwave on the poor guy's back, right?
100%. We had that guy walking down the street, like like one of those one-man bands.
Yeah.
We had one of those guys following us with all the equipment so we could broadcast for 2 blocks in New York City. And we're like, could you fucking, like, not be too close to us? Because you look like a fucking doofus,
Hey,
man.
I got an idea. Does Greenstein like you at all?
I think he does, actually.
Okay, well, and I don't think he likes me. And I've even sent him, dear Scott.
Well, he doesn't. Hold on, Bubba. He doesn't like you because Opie used to go to him and say, "Hey, this Bubba guy keeps threatening to beat me up."
Oh, I never did. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit I'd rather you beat the shit out of me than actually do that. But a very funny line, actually. So I should acknowledge that.
Yeah,
but
let's just go. Let's just go.
I always fought my own battles, and I did all right. But every once in a while, I would get my ass handed to me.
All right, so hear me out.
I'm not going to lie to you. But getting back to the fight thing, which is hilarious. There were days I would be looking out that studio window, wondering if you were there that day, and I'm like, oh my God, are we really gonna fucking do this?
Are we gonna fight this fucking hill jack from fucking Florida who thinks he's real tough, but he's really a fucking fat ass and he's just got a microphone, thinks he's tough?
I was just thinking, man, I'm not gonna lie. There were days I'm like, if he's outside that studio and he gets me in a bear hug, I'm fucked. So I know I have the reach on you probably, so if I could stay like kind of far away from you, maybe I could get a few jabs in.
And I was thinking,
that was about it.
And I was thinking, hey, listen, I think this guy's pretty fucking wiry, and he's from, he's one of those East Coast fucks. I don't want to even really fight this guy because what if he fucking mops the floor with me? Now I'm gonna look like the biggest pussy ever.
Oh no, I would pick up a chair. I mean, if I'm gonna fight, I gotta, you know what I mean?
We should have staged it where I come in on you, get a couple good ones, and then you fucking blast me over the head with a chair, and then we both are all bloodied the fuck up, and oh my God, we would have gotten some great press out of that and we could have both been in on it.
You want to hear a good fight story?
After I tell you my idea of you going down
go ahead,
and going to talk to Scott and saying, Scott, if Howard leaves, like, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, you guys got to think about life after Howard, and Bubba loves Howard, and I respect Howard. You got to say that part. And me and Bubba want to do a show together.
Ooh, I would think about that. We have some weird fucking chemistry.
Yeah,
we didn't do this years ago.
I know, and we can fucking pull it all together. And I don't hate you like Anthony did. I fucking actually like you. And if you want to hate me, that's fine. But we could go in there and be like, listen, Howard's gone, but this is kind of like the next thing, Bubba and Opie, or Opie and Bubba.
Can I work 3 days a week so I could still stay out here and fish? And can we do it like?
I'd even move to fucking. I'm gonna have to move up. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe techno. I don't think. I mean, fuck. You sound pretty good just on a shitty cell phone with some roofers.
We'll get Zoom figured out.
I mean, we'll actually get you to fucking. We'll actually get a guy to hook your Zoom up for you, and we'll fucking pipe it in, Willie, buddy.
Oh man, and I knew I didn't have a lot of battery power. I'm like, he probably only wants to talk for a half hour. I'm good. I'm an idiot. Scott definitely likes me a lot, but I just forced their hand because of the Howard stuff over the years.
Well,
and,
unforce it. Fucking go in there with the tail between your legs, know how to work like a pro wrestler, and get us some fucking money, Opie.
You know, the real reason I got fired was because I went into his area, right? You know, his whole compound area.
Yeah, I mean,
so I was on Facebook. I was on Facebook Live, and my show ended, and there was a cleaning lady with one of those, key cards that unlocks the door. And I'm on Facebook Live, and I try to explain this to Scott. I'm like, when you're live, your balls are bigger. We come from a shock jock world, so I'm not going to pussy out.
Right.
So I casually asked her, I forgot something there. Can you let me in? And so I couldn't believe it. I almost didn't want her to do it because I'm like, no, don't do this. And she unlocked the door. What are you going to do at that point? You know this shit.
I know. You're the big fucking slinging dick. But you didn't go sit on the chair, did you?
I was trying. Because at that point, I'm like, I think I'm pretty fucked. So this will be legendary if I get down the hall and sit in the seat. But then the security guards at SiriusXM who worked for me as well. They're like, hey, get out of here.
Hey, you little redheaded motherfucker, get out of here. You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. And then I'm like, if I'm defiant, I'm definitely going to get fired. So at that moment, I felt like I had a pretty decent Facebook Live. So I turned around and walked out. But
you walk in there. How about this? Now, motherfucking Opie, you got to open your mind up a little bit now. You're hard-headed like me.
I'm trying.
Just open your
mind.
I'm trying. I'll get Howard on the air. and I'll get him to say that it's okay for Scott to talk to you and I on a show pitch.
Right. I would sit down and do that in a second.
So
That'd be fun.
I can email Howard and say, Howard, don't
put my name in an email.
No, hold on.
Right now.
In fact, I emailed Howard happy 12th anniversary yesterday, and he got right back to me. But listen, we'll hatch this out right now. I email Howard and I go, Howard, you know I don't bug you. I don't ever fucking bug you, but I need you to just hear me out. I have befriended Opie, and we're thinking about trying to do a show together. Do I have your permission to pitch Greenstein? What if he goes, sure, Bubba, fucking all the best, Howard? What about that? What are you going to do? Will you go?
Yeah, I would go. I'm telling you right now, I would go.
I'm telling you right now, if you and I did a morning show, I'm telling you, we would fucking kill it because we don't hate each other. We respect each other. We have stories for days. We're both radio guys.
I think it would absolutely work. There certainly would be a buzz out there. I mean, we have two very different audiences too, right?
Yeah,
the South, and I got the Northeast.
I got the South. It's like a Civil War. I'm the Confederates, and you're the fucking Yankees, and we're rolling up in here. It's like if Lee and Jackson would have got along, right?
Right, exactly.
Hey, think of how much cooler the Civil War would have been if Lee and Jackson would have got together and say, "Listen, motherfucker, you're a cool guy. Well, you're a cool guy. My guys are like
Funny.
your guys."
I actually tried many times to sit down with Howard because we had obvious issues, and I didn't need it to be a thing where all of a sudden I'm on his show or any of that. I literally wanted to talk to him privately and try to just talk about some shit, get it off my chest, get it off his chest, and just so we could kind of, live together at Sirius XM. Obviously he's the bigger entity, but man, he just did not want to ever sit down and talk to me. And even Brother Weeze, when he made amends with Brother Weeze, at this point, probably, who knows, like 7 years ago or so, for the shit he pulled with his daughter up there in Rochester, Howard finally said, I got to make amends. And he called up Weeze, and they had a nice conversation. And Weeze, God bless him, because we're boys, he goes to Howard, hey, Howard, what about my boy Opie, And Howard goes, I'm not ready for Opie.
So what if I flank Howard with, hey, you ready for Opie yet? You ready? You ready?
Go for it. Go for it, because we're gonna have another conversation. Because that'll be hilarious.
Now, motherfucker, what if I put that shit together, Opie? What the fuck? What if I got Howard to say, you know what? I'm on the backside. I'm on the twilight of my career. I don't know what Howard's gonna do, but yes, you know what? I'd like to have a conversation with Opie. As long as Opie, as long as you're not going to be a dick and you're going to be cool, Opie, and you're not fucking flip out, Opie.
No, dude, I mean, you've talked to me enough now. This is really, I'm more myself than I've ever been in my life. I always felt like when we turned those mics on, I had to be more shock jock guy, and I don't regret anything I did in the past, but, I'm more my, dare I say, because I learned it from Super Soul Sunday, I'm more my true self and less about my ego, Bubba.
I'm going to actually send that to Opie. I'm going to send that to Howard and say, Howard, he listens to Oprah Super Soul Sundays now.
Exactly.
Robin will even put a good word in for you. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I
want a good
I always have.
You want a good Howard story that will not scare you?
Yeah, go ahead.
And it goes back to the fighting thing. I had a bunch of fights live on the air over the years, but one of my favorite ones, me and Anthony are in Boston. We're at the Boston Marathon, broadcasting live at a bar, getting really fucked up. All our fans are there. We're on the marathon route, the Boston Marathon, and we're crushing it. And this Howard Stern fan comes in, and we have this long table, and he starts, as we're broadcasting, he just keeps saying, "You guys suck, Howard rules. You guys suck, Howard rules." You know this shit from the old days, right?
Right.
So I'm sizing him up, and I'm thinking to myself, "Fuck, can't fucking punch him. Shit, how am I going to do this?" Because the table was too wide, right? So all of a sudden, I started putting my hand to my ear, kind of like your old friend Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
And I'm okay. And I'm like, I'm giving like the Hulk Hogan thing, like I can't really hear you. And he's like, "You suck, Howard rules." And I kept going like, "What?" And I was trying to get him to lean in. and he took the bait. He leaned in, and I fucking hit him with a right live on the air. Anthony's like, "Oh my God, Opie just punched him," or something like that, right? This guy, it was like he saw a ghost because he's in a bar with all our fans, right? And the bouncers were on our side, so they come running to drag the guy out. And on the way out of the bar, all our fans were taking cheap shots at this Howard Stern fan as they were throwing him out of the place.
And so the poor guy got his ass whipped.
Yeah, man. What are you going to do?
You got to give that guy some credit, though, man. You're right. I mean, he came in here knowing to get his ass whipped.
Of course. No, of course. But he wasn't expecting it to end that way.
I just got to tell you, I was you with regards to Howard. I actually went head to head with him in a couple markets, like Orlando, Connecticut, a couple like that. And it was, it's always, oh, fucking Howard, you fucking nerds, fucking you pussy boy, just all the stuff. Man, that fucking roofer guy's getting after it in the background, man. He's fucking.
I must say they're pretty impressive because it's really windy out here.
And
Good
so,
job, boys.
I'm live on the radio. Can you make it a fucking tad, just a little bit louder because we can't quite hear it. And so, I get fired from Clear Channel. He gets fired. He has a place to go. I don't really have a place to go. And he called me up to come meet him, and he couldn't have been any nice. I mean, he was the only reason why I'm even here today because he gave me a shot back then. I was dead in the water. I was fucked. Opie. I was dead. I wasn't going anywhere. And so, I always got to just be, I'm loyal like that, and I'm just, I'll always be appreciative of what he did. And I think at the end of the day, he really appreciates good radio talent, and he knows how good you are. It's just you guys have you guys have been fucking competing against each other for so long.
Yeah, I honestly had no issues with him. I understand what he did for our business and all that. I let a lot of shit go in the last 3 or 4 years, certainly. So
everybody's speculating. What do you think Howard does?
You had to ask that question. He doesn't leave.
You don't think he leaves?
He's the type of guy that I have to say this carefully. He will pretty much die in his seat. What is he going to do? What else would he do?
Now, do the pests still like you, Opie? I mean, like, how's that?
Oh, no, they hate my fucking guts.
Well, it didn't get split 50-50?
No, it got split 98-2. Yeah, 2% of the pests like both of them, and 98% hate everybody.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true too. We built. The Bubba Army. We started this thing called the Pest, and I remember early on going, I don't know if this is a good idea. And I said it many times on the radio. I said eventually they'll come for us and eat us alive. And boy, if that didn't happen,
it's happening to me because the Bubba Army. Some of them fucking hate me, and it's just they listen to you for your clients and get you canceled off of radio stations and just.
Oh yeah. Oh, all that.
But can you rally? If I can, I got the Bubba Army, somewhat back, and if you can get a few of the pests back, I mean, we got to fucking. And then, what do you think the percentage of Howard fans? I mean, they like me, they hate you. So, I mean, we're gonna have to fucking rub that belly a little bit.
I don't know, man. Some of the Howard groups on Facebook, they kind of liked my honesty over the years.
Well, there you go.
Not the majority, certainly, but there's certainly some pockets we could grab.
We got some sleeper cells we can get.
We got some sleeper cells.
Do we got some Opie sleeper cells? That's all we need, buddy. I'm just telling you.
Dude, we should just do it because of our stupid, ridiculous names.
Yeah, I know.
Opie and Bubba, or Bubba and Opie.
How about Greg and Todd?
I like that. I honestly have tried to figure out how to get rid of the name Opie because I never liked this stupid name.
And you don't think I want to get rid of Bubba the fucking Love Sponge? I mean, don't Google that. I tell people don't Google me, please. Please don't Google me. It's just bad.
Oh, that's funny you should say that because I have a neighbor out here, and she goes, my friend said you're the WOW guy. And we know them. They were our neighbors. Our kids play together. But I don't know, probably in your life, too, you have people that honestly barely know about your career, right?
Oh, no, they know me as just a person. And then when they find out about my career, then they're like, holy shit, that's not you. You're not a bad guy.
Well, that's what happened to me out here. So, I mean, they're still cool. I got to be honest. I can't oversell this. But basically, she comes to me. She goes, my high school friend said, "Oh my God," because she was talking about me, I guess, and my family, and she goes, "Oh my God, that's the guy that invented Whip 'em Out Wednesday." And this woman, my neighbor, actually said, "And I thought you were a good guy." Like, I am a good guy. I'm on the radio trying to entertain people.
I just asked chicks to whip their tits out on Wednesday. What's the harmless,
Right, exactly.
Are you a Giants-Jets fan?
No, this I get a lot of abuse for this too. So, but bear with me, and you're one guy that could understand this. So, born and raised on Long Island, so I'm a Jets fan. I made my career, my radio career took off in Boston, so I'm a Patriots fan. I was up there for 3 years and won the Super Bowl. And then I lived and went to college in Western New York because I did radio in Buffalo, Rochester, and I went to Geneseo. So I was up in Western New York for about 12 years, so I'm a Bills fan. So I swear to you, and it doesn't make sense, and I understand that, I'm a Jets, Bills, Patriots fan. How stupid is that? But that's because of the markets I was in.
Now, was Brady there when you were in Boston?
No, we had who the hell was the quarterback? Bledsoe, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think you guys went to New York in 98, 99-ish, didn't you?
Yeah, no, we did 98, so we just missed Tom Brady. But we were there for the Super Bowl with Bledsoe when, what's his name, basically was saying that he was leaving the Patriots as they were preparing for the Super Bowl. Speaking of football, with Brady down there.
Oh, Tom Brady.
How's the deal?
Tom Brady could go in the middle of whatever the fucking most popular street of Tampa, rape 6 girls, kill 5 kids.
Yeah, I know.
With heroin needles in his fucking arms, and we would find a way to fucking justify it.
But get this, Opie. A few months ago, Bubba, Deion Sanders, and Tom Brady all played catch at a local high school.
Yeah.
No, come on.
And
for
I got,
real?
Yep.
yeah, I'll actually.
Because Bubba's good friends with Deion Sanders.
And so Deion called me.
I love Deion Sanders.
Oh, Deion's killing it with Barstool right now.
I know he is. I saw the videos. I love that. You're actually friends with him?
No, really, really, really good friends. Like, really.
Like stays at his house and stuff.
Yeah, like so. But he was in town, and he called me up and said, "Sponge, you want to meet me over at this high school to meet Tom Brady?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I know you're Deion Sanders. And so I got video of Tom Brady throwing 60-yard bombs to Deion in the corner.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then Bubba posted it online and got a text instantly that says, "Take that down. We don't want that out."
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. So I got a text. Nobody's got goat to goat fucking teardrop bomb 60-yarders coffin corners like that.
Right. I hate that shit. Over the years, you're privy to some really cool shit, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I post this, I could get a little bump, and what's the big deal? It doesn't hurt anybody. And they always want you to take the stuff down immediately.
I know the shit that I don't want up gets up, and the shit that I don't want up gets, that kind of bullshit. Think about that. Right. Think about that sex tape. That thing made about $80 million.
Jesus. Are you in the clear with that whole thing?
Oh, I was.
Where are you at with that?
I was never in another. I mean, I wouldn't say I was never in trouble. I mean, it's over. It's done with. Everybody's been paid. Everybody's been fucking settled, and I got fucked.
Right. All right, but you don't have to deal with it as far as a legal issue anymore.
No, it never was a legal issue for me. For a couple days. But then, Hogan and I settled.
Has he ever reached out to you?
No. I mean, motherfucker. I mean, talk about his best friend. I mean, I let him fuck my wife. And our surveillance got it. It's a big fucking whodunit. And then some other fucking radio guys steal the tape and distribute it. They get my job. He makes $100 million, and I'm fucked. That's.
Oh, boy. He should absolutely thank you. I mean, if he had a tiny prick, then I could understand. But he had a Foster.
He had a thermos.
Yeah, that's a hell of a story. But he should absolutely fucking thank you.
Well, I don't know. I'm more worried about you going to Green State and getting us a big time gig. I'm just telling you that.
Reach out, see what he says, and then we'll have to have another conversation as we laugh ourselves silly when he says.
So go ahead and reach out to Howard and go ahead and say that and watch how fucking much trouble I get in, right?
I don't think you'll get in trouble, but I don't think you're going to get the response you're hoping for. Well, I'll
tell you what the fuck I'd buy. I'd buy you a house with a new roof, so I have to fucking listen to this nailing shit. Fucking A!
We must be doing well because no one would deal with that. So if this was just mediocre, you'd be like, all right, I hope it was great talking to you.
Yeah, I'd be like,
but
man,
I got a fucking headache.
Yeah. I'd never call that guy again. He's the Hammer fucking guest. Fuck that guy.
Exactly.
He insists on doing his interviews next to fucking roofers.
You know what? At the very least, we got to do more of these. It's so funny because I got to tell you, I did your show and I put it on my podcast, and that was, I think last September, right?
Yeah, it was just over a year ago.
September. And I had so much fun, and I told everyone around me, I'm like, God damn it, that was fun. We had good chemistry, and I really love talking about radio because you study this business as you know, like I did. And then I was looking forward to doing more with you, and then the guy I was doing the podcast with, Carl, literally died like a week or two after that came out.
Yeah.
And I was just completely, and to this day, I'm pretty much still devastated.
Well, you guys, you'd actually, we talked about it. You'd plan on coming down to Florida, and Bubba was going to take you to a Islanders Lightning game.
But now
I remember all that.
But now you're Johnny COVID, and I can't get you out of the fucking house.
I am Johnny COVID. I really am. Make fun of me. But that's, I don't know. There's people that take it too seriously, and there's people that don't give a fuck.
When you lift the travel, when Opie lifts his life restrictions, and he can be Opie again. Listen, one of my best friends has a 45-foot yellowfin open fish. We can go out fucking fishing, and we can go to the hockey game, and we can do some radio. We could be like buddies, you know. I'm just saying.
You guys can ride the mopeds around.
I got two mopeds. I'll even put a little helmet on you. I'm sure you're worried about you're the kind of guy that wears a helmet, probably.
Yeah, my helmet guy. What? That's bad too?
No, it's not bad. If you're afraid, if you're afraid of COVID, you're probably afraid of a moped too.
Well, I am. I'm afraid of a moped because my friend Harry. We were like 12 years old. And he wanted to run away from home. He wanted me to go with him, which, you know, I said no. But he had a moped, and we're in the schoolyard, and he goes, you know how to ride this thing, right? And I'm like, I didn't want to be a pussy, so I'm like, fuck yeah, man. I ride mopeds all the fucking time.
Yeah, I own that fucking moped.
Right. This is me, and, you know, it's got me in trouble over the years, obviously. I'm like, fuck yeah, give me that moped. And I didn't know, like, the throttle wasn't the brake. So I'm on this thing, and I'm going a little too fast. So I hit the throttle. Now I'm going fast. I'm like, why the fuck isn't this thing stopping? It was literally the first time I was ever on anything with a motor.
Right.
Now I'm flying, and I'm like, all right, I got options. I could either like drive this into traffic. That's not going to go well. Not a busy road, but definitely cars going by. Then it was the old school monkey bars. Remember the playground equipment that used to get you killed before they made everything, you know, child-proof?
Were you going to drive under it, then grab them?
I didn't know. I was like, maybe something. Yes, I think you're right. I was like, maybe I could, as I drive by, grab it. You know, the ones that were all sorts of squares and stuff with a ton of metal bars. I'm like, I think maybe I could get something done there. And then my last option, which I took, was a giant, I didn't know at the time, sticker bush. I thought it was just like kind of a fluffy bush. I'm like, all right, I'll get bruised up, but at least I'll get off this fucking thing. I flew into this thing. Long story short, I had between 40 and 50 stitches. I left his moped in the middle of the bushes as I ran home because my house was pretty close to the school.
I didn't know that moped was a trigger deal for you. I did not know that, Opie. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck yeah. I haven't thought about this story in a while, and I left this moped smoking, ready to explode, basically. I ran home. My parents had the house locked for some reason. There was tiny little windows, and I start breaking the windows to get inside. My brother comes to the front door and sees me bleeding like basically like Carrie in that old movie. I had so much fucking blood, and he's like, holy shit.
Well, more importantly, did your friend still run away?
He's like, I can't run away now. He said, my moped's fucked up. I can't run away now. I got bigger issues. My moped's fucked.
Right.
You may have saved it. You may have saved a guy. Hope he was going to go kill himself until you fucking did that.
He was probably thinking that, you know, it was before Dumb and Dumber. I'm older than that movie, but he's like thinking, we'll both jump on that moped like Dumb and Dumber and get the fuck out of Dodge, man.
You probably saved the guy's life.
I think that was a deal breaker. I think our friendship ended because I fucked with his moped. I don't remember how that relationship ended, to be honest, but not that it's important.
Opie, from Opie, and is that cheese dick to say Opie from Opie and Anthony? Is that okay? Is that like?
Yeah, of course. I mean we accomplished some amazing things, and I hope I hope someday we get to the point where we could just focus on that. But yeah,
do you think it's crazy that still like people on YouTube are still watching old O&A shows, and you go in there and there's like a chat room and there's still a lot of people watching it?
I'm fucking pissed that we didn't make the deal that we owned our own material like Howard did.
Hold on. No. Hold on. Do you know who the first guy to cut that deal was?
Don't say you. I'll kill you.
Me in '96. So when I went over to go work for Howard, Howard still didn't own his shit. And when I'm like, Howard, I own all of my stuff. I own every ounce of it. And he's like, how the fuck did you do that? And I go, I don't know.
Yeah.
The fucking hillbillies in Tampa didn't really seem to care much about. I mean, they gave it all to me.
Wow, good
so
for
I got everything, Opie. That's what we can help put our new channel on.
I hear you. The funny thing is, there's fans out there that have these YouTube channels that just crush it.
I know.
They make stupid money on the monetization of the damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and Anthony don't make a fucking penny off that shit. And they have all our shows that they're just going through chronologically every day.
Yeah, I still watch them every now and then.
I mean, you're probably losing.
Yeah.
You're probably losing. I mean, you could buy a couple more fucking slumlords with that and have 60 slum properties. Opie. Opie, who gets what? Who do I get told no faster? Because I do have Anthony's information. If I call Anthony up and said, Anthony, let's all fucking do a show. Who says no faster, Howard or Anthony? Which one hates you more, Anthony or Howard? That's a new.
No,
Opie.
Anthony has publicly said he would do it again tomorrow, but he makes it very clear, because he knows there's a lot of money that would be involved. I personally just simply don't want to do it. I don't care how much money is involved. You're telling me if Spotify came to you and said, "Hey, look, we really want the O&A show back. We're willing to write a check that's huge." You won't do it.
A Rogan type check.
You guys don't have to be friends. It doesn't matter. But as long as I'm not going to lie to you. That'd be tough. But I swear to you, I would say no. Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying, Greg.
It wasn't. I did not. Sorry, I do have to say this on the record. I just did not have a good time for like the second half.
Yeah, but listen to this, motherfucker. I got to remedy all this. Fuck Anthony. Put me in there, and we'll just be me and you. I'm better than Anthony anyway. Fuck him.
There you go. I like how loyal you are.
Yeah, like I'm better than Anthony. I saw that drunk motherfucker. I'm far more funnier than he is. I'm far more better radio guy than he is. Please.
You're like my fucking dog with your loyalty. It's scary.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You and I do good radio together. Fuck him. Let's get a gig, you and I, buddy.
100%. I got to tell you, so we got a puppy because of the coronavirus, basically. My son turned 10. We wanted to make it special, so we said, fuck it, finally, and got a dog, and it's 4 or 5 months old. So we spent the day doing some fall activities for my daughter's birthday yesterday, and we had to bring the dog, So, we had oh God, this is going to sound bad, but we had a driver. It just made things easier yesterday. And because we knew that we couldn't bring the dog to some of the places we were going to. All right. So we leave the dog with the driver that the dog just met. And we come back and he's basically like, fuck you guys. This is my new owner. I'm like, do you understand loyalty at all, you son of a bitch dog?
No, fucking that loyalty's out the window, even with the new generation of fucking canines. Fuck those dogs.
Fuck them all.
When you get a good loyal guy, I'm loyal to the end, my friend. Like, you couldn't even have me talk bad about Howard. I love that motherfucker so much, but I'm ready to be loyal to you too, OP. Let's go. Let's do a show.
What kind of car does Greg Hughes get driven around in?
Fucking town car.
God. All right. Well, so we try to make our daughter's birthday special yesterday. She turned 8.
Okay.
So she can't have the family parties and stuff because of the coronavirus, although I'm sure you guys are just fucking having pool parties.
Oh, yeah. Just letting it eat, buddy.
That's right. So, you got to try to make these things a little special. And my wife came up with a great idea to rent a limo for my 8-year-old.
There you go.
Yeah. I knew I would get silence on that. But she fucking loved it.
No,
we had like
hold on, motherfucker. You only got silence because we can't afford fucking limos no more. There ain't no hate here, buddy.
Dude, that's not a big expense. You know that.
Well, what 1,000? Probably cost you $1,000.
No, I swear to God, way less.
Okay, well maybe we could swing it if it was
limos
only.
Aren't in demand, and it's one of those. It was just, it was a basic limo. It wasn't anything special.
Didn't have a hot tub or nothing. I used to have one that had a hot tub in the back. Remember that Blitz from Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're crazy. Jesus, you're nuts. I love it.
Hey, so listen, Opie, I'm emailing Howard. Once I get the okay, you're going to go to Greenstein, and Howard's going to retire, go to Netflix, make his money, and you and I are going to be the fucking, can you do mornings again, you think?
God, you suck.
3 days a week.
Yeah. 3 days a week, no problem.
I'll work 5. I don't give a fuck. I'll work 5. I'm a working man. I'll be like, that little fucking pussy didn't come in today, but I'm here for you guys.
Oh, wait, I thought you were loyal. Wait a minute.
Well, I mean, we got to have a certain amount of good cop, bad. I mean, we got a good cop, bad cop, but then you're going to say, hey, fat ass, don't worry about it. I'm the big time star here. You fuck. You need to work the 2 extra.
Yeah, there you go. I just want to do it to see how this goes wrong.
Yeah, like, hey, it's the Bubba and Opie or Opie and Bubba show. We don't know what the fuck it is, and it's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen, before we both fucking get mad at each other. It's only a matter of time. It can happen at any moment.
Sadly, and you just summed up radio. That's what happens.
It's true.
It is. It's only a matter of time before we hate each other, and then we all like each other again.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, can I promote my Opie radio podcast? I could use a few more subs.
All you want, buddy.
And then I do Facebook Live from this location as people are building roofs.
What's the Facebook address?
I know. What is it? Oh, Opie Radio fans, because some scumbag grabbed Opie Radio. I literally signed up for Facebook, and someone grabbed it immediately.
Well, hold on. You got Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, all Opie Radio, and the only one that's not is the Facebook one that you're doing because some fuckface grabbed it.
Yeah. Opie Radio fans is mine. So
Opie Radio
Facebook
fans.
Live every morning. Fans, yeah. I have more than one fan, you son of a bitch.
I know, motherfucker. You're going to have 2 now when I watch tomorrow, bitch. I'm just telling you.
It's cool. I mean, I literally just have a cup of coffee with some people and no pressure, and I just work off the comments, and, I have a good time.
Yeah, so when you search it on Facebook, it comes up as Opie Radio, but the actual address is Opie Radio fans.
And about what time do you do that? What time do you do that, Opie, usually?
Honestly, I'm still a morning guy, so I'm up by 6 still, but I turn it on somewhere around 7:30, 7:40.
Shows the ocean.
Yeah,
listen to this motherfucker, goddamn hammering! Fuck!
Well, I even like it. Like when you're back in the city, you have the camera out the window, and you show different parts of the city.
Hold on, does he got a city apartment and a fucking Hampton place?
He's like what 40 stories up too. He's like way up there.
Fucking Opie.
I'm 500 feet up, and I can see literally Howard's bedroom.
It's awesome. He's got an awesome view.
It's going to take at least $1 million to get you back over to fucking Sirius, I tell you that.
Well, we left that apartment in March. It's just been there rotting. I've been back only 3 or 4 times since March.
Oof.
I think I'm loaded. Yeah. He's fucking loaded. I need to be this guy's new best friend. This Opie's loaded. He might have more money than Howard.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, and listen.
You know what the the banging on the roof? Remember the old days? We're building a new rock station. It's just hammering noises on the radio.
I think they're building you a new storage unit for your cash is what I think they're doing, motherfuckers.
All right, I like that. I like hearing that.
So listen, every morning, right, Opie fans on Facebook, and of course his podcast is Opie Radio Podcast, anywhere you get your podcast. And and the hammering action has been free of charge. And Opie, I'm gonna email Howard. I really am.
All right, you got my number. It'll be very interesting what he says.
I can't wait to put you two back together.
We never were together.
I didn't know if you're gonna catch that or not.
Oh, well, they shut down the hallways because of me. Trust me, this is going to be a tough one for you.
Oh, your Hello Howard videos were great too.
But you got to be nice, Opie. I got to be able to tell Howard he's a new dude. He doesn't let shit bug him anymore.
But when I was there, I turned the corner, and so he changed his hours because of us, by the way, because we're like, fuck this. Most of these people are listening to this shit on demand, so we're starting at 7, and then fast forward a bunch of months, he started at 7. So he was coming in the same time through his secret entrance, and I would walk down the hall because we had to come in through the front door. And I started passing him in the hallway. And I'm with my security guard, and he's with Ronnie's awesome. We always get along. And I said to myself, you know what? fuck this. And I said, good morning, Howard, as we walked by. He said nothing. And then Kenny, my security person at the time, he starts giggling like he's 12 years old. And I go, Kenny, what's going on? He goes, he is so mad that he just said hi to him. I'm like, come on, there's no way that's true. So this would happen, like, I don't want to oversell once again, but it happened probably 2 or 3 times. Next thing you know, there's memos all over the place that, they're pretty much locking down Sirius XM in the morning until Howard gets in his area, because they were trying to say because an intern asked for a picture or something like that. But everyone came to me and said, no, it's because of you. And I'm like, what the, for real? I'm like, I was really just trying to, turn the corner and say, fuck it, we both work here. We don't have to be friends or anything, but good morning.
They closed the hallway because of you, GH.
God, you know my shows.
He
That's
does.
awesome.
He does.
Awesome.
He's one of the 2%ers that like you.
Yeah,
I love it. But then I made a video. The elevator bank with the glass wall with the doors.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had to wait there, and the security guards would put up their hand like, "Hold on, you can't come in because Howard's coming in." I'm like, "Come on!" I'm like, it was so ridiculous. And Kenny's like, "I wouldn't do that, GH." And I pick up my phone. I'm like, "I gotta record this because someday I won't be here, and at least I'll have this." So you see the security guards saying, "No, you can't come in." And, supposedly we were a big deal at that time at Sirius XM. And then next thing you know, Howard walks by the glass, wall and doors, goes into his area, and then the guy finally waves me in.
Like a traffic cop. Come on now, sir.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, now you're allowed to go. But I'm not going to lie. At that point, I'm like, this is so stupid. So sarcastically in the video, you could hear me dramatically say, "Good morning."
Waiting to go into Sirius XM. Just waiting and waiting and waiting. Lockdown. We're in lockdown. As soon as Howard Stern passes, we're allowed in the building, right, Kenny?
It's lockdown.
Oh, we're being patient. And you've already told me it's not you. There he goes. Good morning. And now he'll let me in. He's got to wait for him to be in his section. And here we go.
All clear.
All clear. So fucking stupid. Let me show you the empty hallway that is being locked down for him. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
Good. Great. Great to see you, babe.
There's absolutely no one in the hallway.
Opie, you're not one to shy away. No, are you?
Nah, what are you going to do?
So listen, listen, we're going to do this again. Let's keep in better touch.
Okay.
And more importantly, when the COVID gets lifted, maybe think about coming down here when you're not afraid of everything again. And you never, I guess if I get the okay from Howard, you got to promise to go to Greenstein. Don't fucking welch out on the deal, Greg.
I'll email him. I'll call him.
No, you need to go down there and see him. Old school.
They're not going to let me in because when I started my podcast, I started podcasting right outside the building. They got really mad at that, too.
You didn't say all that.
What? No, I started a podcast, and my guy Carl, he was a street guy. He was pretty tough, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to sit at this table, and we're going to podcast, and maybe we'll interview people coming and going from Sirius XM."
That's brilliant.
And then they called my agents, like, he's outside podcasting, talking to employees. And we were still, I got to be careful, but let's just say we were still negotiating some things, even though I was no longer there. So they had the upper hand. I'm like, fuck.
So they told you if you want your severance, Willie, bitch, stop being out the Avenue of Americas.
Yeah, maybe something like that. You know how that is, Bubba, right?
Yeah, I do.
But it certainly shut the kid down. He wasn't podcasting outside the building anymore.
Nope. But you were able to buy 5 more fucking rental units, so it all worked out, kid.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Opie, I'll be in touch, and I'm gonna email Howard, buddy. Stranger things have happened. Don't say never.
All right.
And for the record, I think you and I could do a great show together.
Well, It's crazy. We definitely have chemistry.
We do.
This was like was one of the easiest things I've done in a long time. So thank you for that. And I had an awesome time.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Opie.
All right, bye guys.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, boo, boo,